He was dead, or was he? Waking up in the morgue is the stuff of nightmares, but it's happened more than once. For all of the advances we've made in science and medicine over the centuries, one aspect of life that we don't fully understand is death. That's because the signs of life, respiration, brain activity, and heart activity can sometimes be so imperceptible that a living person can seem dead. And this isn't just theoretical either. More than one person has woken up at their own funeral, and others have woken up in the morgue. And while being buried or cremated alive may sound like a fate worse than death, there's another gruesome aspect to this concept that you may not have thought of: waking up during your own autopsy. It's happened at least once, and much like waking up during surgery, it's every bit as gruesome as it sounds. A Venezuelan man named Carlos Cameo had an exceptionally bad day in 2007, according to the Mexican newspaper El Universal. The 33-year-old man crashed his motorcycle into a parked vehicle, setting into motion a series of failures that would be comical if they weren't so gruesome. Paramedics at the scene pronounced him dead. Once at the morgue, his wife claims that he was left in a corridor with the autopsy order tucked into his pants pocket. It got worse. As the team was preparing to open him up, the doctor noticed that Cameo was bleeding, something dead men don't do, and started stitching up his face. Cameo later told local media that he woke up because the pain was unbearable. Reuters reported that Cameo's wife then came to the morgue to identify his body, only to find him alive. In an added insult, Cameo alleges that someone in the morgue relieved him of his pocket money, about $150 at current exchange rates. Ideally, when someone dies in modern times, several things are going to happen. Their body might go to the morgue. It's prepared for burial or cremation, and then it is actually buried or cremated. However, Cameo isn't the only one who's been discovered alive during the process. As The Guardian reports, it happens rather frequently, including to a Polish woman who spent some time in a refrigerator before staff noticed her moving in her body bag. It also happened to a Kenyan man who supposedly died after ingesting insecticide. When he awoke in the morgue, staff ran away screaming. People have also woken up at their own funerals, including a 3-year-old Mexican girl who is thought to have died from dehydration, according to the New York Post. Sadly, just hours after waking up in her coffin, she truly died.
A family taken through the ringer.
Before modern medicine made the barrier between life and death less of a guessing game, all bets were off. So afraid were people of being buried alive that an inventor created a system so that the deceased could ring a bell if they woke up in a coffin. Historian John Miller told the Parksburg News and Sentinel, "Often people were pronounced dead and they weren't really. You would wake up and you are in your grave. It makes the hair on your neck stand up." Even now, the signs that physicians use to determine if someone is alive are sometimes faint, even to modern machinery. So it's no surprise that in pre-modern days, anyone with a faint enough pulse or respiration could be presumed dead, even though they weren't. The risk of being buried alive, burned alive, or thrown into an open pit with the actual dead was real. Ideally, modern telemetry and related medical devices have made that less likely to happen. But as we've already seen, mistakes can be made and people have fallen through the cracks.
A 20-year-old woman believed to have died was found breathing at a Detroit funeral home.
And then there's another matter. The line between life and death isn't always obvious. The Guardian explains that any one thing that could indicate death, such as the lack of a heartbeat, is actually just one of the many processes that have to take place as a person dies. Writer Carla Valentine notes that even medical experts debate over what really constitutes death. It's viewed as, quote, less as a single event and more as a process.